How a broken coffee mug saved my perfectly planned life. I never ever wanted to be a mom. Honestly, I was the woman who would switch subway cars just to avoid a crying toddler. I liked my pristine, white-carpeted condo in Chicago, my carefully color-coded schedule, and absolutely zero strings attached. I had my morning spin class at 5 a.m., my ridiculously expensive lattes, and a life that was entirely, undeniably mine. But then, the universe flipped the script. My older brother, Mark, died in a sudden accident. He was a single dad, and out of nowhere, I got the call. I was listed as the emergency guardian for his 8-year-old daughter, Chloe. I hadn't spent more than a weekend with her since she was born. I was not maternal. I didn't know the first thing about packing a lunchbox or dealing with big emotions. But looking at her small, trembling shoulders in that sterile lawyer's office, I just couldn't walk away. Those first 4 weeks at my place, absolute nightmare. Chloe didn't act out. She didn't throw tantrums. She just faded away. She would sit for hours on my fancy couch, staring out the window, clutching her dad's old, faded flannel shirt. I tried absolutely everything to get a smile. I bought her the most expensive dolls, ordered massive ice cream sundaes on a random Tuesday, played every animated movie I could think of. Nothing. Just a heavy, suffocating wall of silence. I felt like an absolute fraud, an intruder in her massive grief. Then came a Tuesday night, around 2 in the morning. I heard a sudden crash from the kitchen. I tiptoed down the hall, my heart pounding, and flipped on the lights. There was Chloe. She was standing in the middle of a sea of shattered porcelain. She had tried to reach a mug from the top shelf, just to get some tap water, and it slipped. Her tiny hands were covering her face, and she was just shaking. No sound, just silent, heavy tears. Terrified I was going to yell at her. I didn't give her a lecture. I didn't give her a cheesy speech about how everything was going to be perfectly fine. I just grabbed a broom, swept the sharp pieces out of the way, and then I sat down, right there on the hard, cold kitchen tile. I patted the floor next to me. She slowly sat down. I pulled a juice box from the fridge, poked the straw in, and handed it to her. We just sat there, leaning against the cabinets, for 3 whole hours. We didn't say a word. We just watched the streetlights blink outside the window. It wasn't a magic fix, but it was the crack in the ice. A month later, I hit my biggest test. Chloe's school was having a father-daughter dance, and it triggered a massive panic attack. The school nurse called me, right in the middle of the biggest pitch of my career, a massive, multi-million-dollar event contract. Before I could even process what I was doing, I just stood up. I grabbed my coat and walked straight out of the boardroom. My business partner hissed at me, saying I was throwing away our biggest year ever. And you know what? I didn't care. Not even a little bit. For the next 2 weeks, I moved my laptop to my car. I parked my SUV right outside the playground fence every single day, drinking terrible gas station coffee. I wanted Chloe to look out the window, see my car, and know that no matter how scary the world got, someone was always waiting for her. She wasn't abandoned. Slowly, the walls came down. She started laughing again, telling me stories about how Mark used to burn the toast every Sunday. Our grief became shared, and our bond became unbreakable. Last week, we finally made the adoption official. When the judge leaned over the bench and asked Chloe if she was ready for this, she looked at him, squeezed my hand with all her might, and whispered, "She's my safe place." I spent 32 years building walls to protect my perfect, independent life. I honestly thought I was the one sacrificing everything to save her from the darkness. But the truth is, Chloe was the one who rescued me.